Okay, apologies, Truth Seeker. I'm glad somebody just called me. I was about 10 minutes deep into this live stream and somebody said it wasn't coming through. So I just restarted it. Apologies for keeping you guys hanging like that. I thought we were live and going, but I just checked and the red lights weren't on. So just did a quick reset and I think we're good. Apologies. Okay, so let me start all over. I thought we were broadcasting. So again, yesterday, NHL hockey. The instruction yesterday was that if the money evened out, to take Boston to cover. We looked early in the day. The money was heavy on Boston early in the day, but by game time, it was right about 50-50. And like I said, if the money gets close to even, take Boston to cover, because what we were looking at is if St. Louis lost, they'd be 1-14 in the Stanley Cup, like 114. And again, this whole riddle is connected to the 114th World Series and the Super Bowl, which was 114 days before game one of the Stanley Cup started. Plus you have that St. Louis Blues girl, the fan with the disease she's suffering from. She's carrying around that sign that equals 114. So St. Louis did fall to 1-14 in the playoffs. The other riddle we were considering is if St. Louis won yesterday, they would have been 2-13 on the day leaving 213 days left in the year. As we'll get to, that was a big riddle with Justin Verlander picking up his 213th career win yesterday. So anyway, the money evened out. I hope you did take Boston to cover. You should have won there. Again, use this pregame website. It's very helpful. It's been a great strategy all throughout the playoffs, seeing where the money is and deciding who to take and if you should take the cover bet or not. Been very consistent based on where the money is. St. Louis was the favorite. Boston made sense to take the cover if the money was even. So I've been talking for 10 minutes, so I'm trying to remember what I already said. This fight yesterday, we decoded this fight, and I saw the headline last night, and they said 11-1 underdog stuns Anthony Joshua. And as soon as I saw that, I said, man, I wish I knew the guy was 11-1 underdog, because that's the New York number where the fight was. New York equals 111. Plus, we talked about how this guy's birthday is September 11th. That's the day leaving 111 days left in the year. So I had no idea the fight was so lopsided. You know, somebody called in the live stream and asked if we could look at it. We did decode it. We saw a lot of interesting things. Didn't know it was an 11-1. That would have been a crucial detail. And I wish that was pointed out in the article I was looking at when we were decoding yesterday. The other thing that I saw when they were talking about this last night is Ruiz Jr. was the 8th Mexican fighter to attempt to do what he did last night, dethrone Anthony Joshua, and he was the first to be successful. They mentioned how he was the 8th, and remember yesterday had the 19-date numerology. 19 is the 8th prime number. Also, we talked about how the last time Ruiz Jr. lost was 903 days before the fight. Notice Mexico equals 93 as well as 33. He ended up picking up his 33rd career win last night. New York's also 33, and again, 111. So I talked about this yesterday in the boxing match. If you don't have all the pieces of the puzzle, it's easy to pick wrong, and I did pick wrong yesterday. What I locked into was the fact that Ruiz Jr. replaced Big Baby Miller, and it was Big Baby Miller's 322nd day of his age, the day of the fight, and Ruiz Jr. could have become 32-2. We did notice that Anthony Joshua, his last fight was 253 days before this fight, which is the 22nd triangular number. He'd last fought on September 22nd, and he ended up staying on 22 career wins in this fight. He became 22-1. I was thinking he would probably pick up his 22nd knockout and get his 23rd win because it was his 230th day of his age. And you know what else was interesting is it was 229 days after his birthday, which is the 50th prime. And remember, undefeated equals 50. Defeated also equals 50. This reminds me of UFC 229 with Conor McGregor facing the undefeated guy, and they did all the 229-50 rituals. So he gets his first defeat and is no longer undefeated. But that 11-1 odds was a big clue, and I was not aware of that. So I have a monster regret there because, man, that would have been an awesome pick. We noticed how yesterday was 263 days after the Mexican fighter's birthday. That's the 56th prime. Andy Ruiz Jr. equals 56. It was his name also equals 61. It was a fight on June 1st. So, I mean, there was alignment for him. It was just that 3-2-2 thing. Him becoming 32-2 seemed perfect. But the other thing that I should say is he replaced a guy named Miller. Miller's also 33 and 93. So there were some clues there for the 33 that I neglected. So, boxing match aside, everything else was pretty good yesterday. The majority of the baseball games panned out by a big margin. The hockey game, if you took Boston to cover, you did all right. But, man, 11-1, what a great payout. So, crucial detail. Got to pick up all the pieces of the puzzle. Okay, so Twins and Rays, this game, warned about this game. The first two games didn't follow the date numerology, and same for the third game. Yesterday, if it had followed the date numerology, Twins should have picked up the 19th loss and stayed at 19 away wins. But they didn't. They won. So 3 games in a row, the date numerology not followed. Notice the score was 2-6 on a 26 date. The Indians and the White Sox wasn't a great game. The 16 could have gone either way on 1/6. Indians could have picked up the 16th away loss. Something about the pitcher too. So this wasn't a real strong read here. The Rangers did look good to beat the Royals. Royals stayed on 19 wins. Rangers got the 19th home win. They became 19-9, a bit like 199, the 46th prime number. Remember, Rangers equals 46. We had a 46 date as well. Look for the Royals to split in their next 2 away games and become 9-23, 23 the 9th prime. We've seen a lot of that this year. Score was 2-6 here as well. We like the Brewers to beat the Pirates. I'm expecting the Brewers to get to 34 wins. Today's the last game of the series. If they do that, Pirates equals 34. They stayed on 26 losses on the 26th date. Today they can stay on 26 losses on 2/6. The Giants and the Orioles had a caller yesterday who was real big on the Giants. He was right on. The Orioles had a chance at their 19th win of the season on the 19 date. They also had a chance at staying at 8 home wins on the 19 date, 19 the 8th prime. We talked about yesterday how the Giants should win 2 of their next 3 and the Orioles should lose 2 of their next 3. Now, if the Orioles split their next 2 home games, they'll be 9-23 as well, you see. And I believe that next home game is against Toronto. And Blue Jays equals 23. So if the Giants have now played 57 games. Today's the 58th. The next game's the 59th. 59's the 17th prime. So that's why we were saying they should win 2 of their next 3 so that they can get that 17th away loss in the 59th game, or have 17 away losses after the 59th game's over. The Braves, we like them to beat the Tigers yesterday. The pitcher became 6-1 on June 1st. 61, big baseball number, 18th prime. And the Tigers stayed at 22 wins against the Braves. Again, Braves equals 22. The Nationals and the Reds. This is the second time now in the past month that we had a 19-date numerology where there was a Reds game with a 19 alignment, and it didn't come through, which is really interesting. Nationals could have picked up the 19th away loss. Reds equals 19. Typically in sports, that's a really great sign when you have a team gematria and a date numerology. So just to document, the last 2 times this has come up for the Reds, it has not come through, which I find very interesting. So got to save that note for the next time we see this scenario. The Yankees did look good to beat the Red Sox yesterday. It was all about the pitchers. Porcello could get his 111th loss against New York. New York won 11. German had a chance to become 10-1 on the 26th date. He didn't end up getting the win. Porcello did get the 111th loss, but German could have become 10-1, like 101 the 26th prime, Yankees 26 date. So we're gonna have to keep looking at it. Could line up that way next time German pitches too. Yankees also stayed on 19 losses. German also had a chance, or no, excuse me, Porcello with a loss was going to become 10-9 against the Yankees. Yankees 109, so that also came through. So usually when things make sense on both sides for the pitchers, that is a good sign. As good as a date numerology read, if you can get it to line up both ways for the pitchers, it's a good one. Cardinals had a good read to beat the Cubs yesterday. We talked about how they could get their 18th home win on 6-1, like 61 the 18th prime. Cubs equals 18. So that came through. Score was 4-7 or 7-4. St. Louis equals 47 and 74. The Angels, we liked them to beat the Mariners yesterday. It was the Mariners' 61st game on 6-1. They picked up their 18th home loss. And the Mariners are now 6-3 against the Angels on the season. Look at the score, 6-3. How about that? The Rockies looked good to beat the Blue Jays yesterday. Give the Blue Jays their 19th loss on the 19 date. And we talked about how if the Blue Jays got swept, they'd get to 38 losses. Colorado equals 38. Colorado's the 38th state. Colorado Rockies equals 163, the 38th prime. The Marlins and the Padres overlooked something crucial yesterday. Yesterday was the 193rd game between these two teams. That's the 44th prime number. And the Padres got their 44th home loss against the Marlins all time in the 193rd game. So there was a prime number relationship just screaming out there. And I apologize, I didn't catch it. But that was it would have been another good prime riddle. Should have saw that. So the Marlins did have a chance at their 19th away loss on the 19 date, and that's what caught my eye. We did mention 18 could be the number 2 yesterday because it was 6-1, 61 the 18th prime. What's up, caller?
Hey, Zach, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay, last time I tried to call in, it was a while back. You weren't able to hear me, and you told me to call back, and it still wasn't working, so I guess it's working this time.
Yeah, you're clear.
So I just want to touch up on this riddle that I noticed with Boston and St. Louis because the Hockey World Championships, I predicted the finals on that correctly. It was Canada versus Finland. And then one really coincidental thing, quote-unquote coincidence, is last time Boston won the Cup, 2011. Last time Finland made the finals, 2011. The Boston goaltender is from Finland. The Blues goaltender.
All right, I love it because that's what I pointed out yesterday. Is Boston won Game 1 and it was his 79th day of his age. Bruins equals 79, and then yesterday was 83 days after his birthday. Bruins is 83. So the 2 games they both won have been perfectly synced with him. So okay, I'm listening. Very good.
So yeah, he's from Finland, and Finland defeated Canada in the World Championships. And then the Blues goaltender Jordan Binnington is from Canada.
Here we go. I'm thinking Boston's going to win it in Game 5 now.
No, I'm thinking Game 6.
The reason I'm saying Game 5 is because it's 32 weeks and 2 days after the start of the World Series, and 3-2-2 is the big number.
Yeah, well, and also another thing that you could say with Game 5 is Finland won in their 66th participation. Game 5's on June 6th.
Okay, so I'm really digging the Game 5 thing right now.
Yeah, but there's if the series does go 6 games, you notice how they always flash Jordan Binnington's stats in games after a loss?
I didn't know that, but I'm listening.
They flashed on TV, so that they'll flash it next game since the Blues lost this game. If it gets to 6 games and the Blues don't win a single game back to back, he would be 13-3, like the score of the Super Bowl.
Oh, that's a great observation. What did you just say about 66 a minute ago on June 6th?
Okay, so June 6th, which is written 6/6, and then Finland, it was their 66th participation in the Hockey World Championships.
Okay, and they beat Canada.
Yeah, and Finland was like 10-1 underdogs too.
Oh, okay. Well, I think you've nailed it here with this fit with the goalies, because there's been a lot of things synced up with both goalies all throughout the playoffs, and I didn't know about this Finland-Canada thing, so that's making a lot of sense to me. And I really am digging the Game 5 riddle right now, just because it would be a 4-1 thing, just like the World Series was 4-1, just like Super Bowl equals 41. And again, it's 32 weeks and 2 days after the start of the World Series, and we know that if the Bruins win it, they get to 3-2-2, the number that connects to the NFL as well. So,
yeah, well, I've noticed that stats are different on M cubed and Hockey Reference, and if you want to go based off of Hockey Reference, if it goes 6 games, Bruins would be 322 and 322 in the playoffs.
well, so what's funny is at the beginning of these playoffs, M cubed and Hockey Reference were the exact same, but then M cubed did not record one of the games, and they did that in the NBA playoffs as well. They didn't record one of the Warriors games, so things have gotten off, which I don't know if they're going to fix that after the season's over or what's up with that. But yeah, no, you're right that they could be 322 and 322. We've looked at that, and that would be the Game 6 riddle. Is that why you like Game 6 because of that?
Yeah, especially with the 13-3 riddle with Bennington.
Oh, okay. So it very well could be. So if it's not Game 5, I think you're probably right about Game 6. But man, those 32 weeks and 2 days, I'm looking at it. So
yeah, because Game 6 is written 6/9, and World Series equals 69 in reversible reduction.
That's a good point. You make a good point. So all right.
So yeah,
awesome call, man.
And there's one last thing I want to touch up on. You know, you're probably not going to agree with me on this, but I was watching you back in 2017, and you would always talk about how the money doesn't matter, and I still don't think it does, and I really think we should stop looking at money, because trolls used to call in and push that.
Well, I think it makes a difference on if you should take a team to cover or not. That's what I think.
Okay, yeah, I understand. I get the cover thing, but I wouldn't want to base a pick off of it and change money line and all of that.
Well, I agree with what you're saying, but I still think it's helpful to see if you should take a team to cover or not. Because I think it makes a difference there. I think that's how you can decide which side of the spread to be on.
Yeah, but there are some instances where, because it happened with the Rangers and Astros game earlier this year. Remember the George Bush riddle or whatever that you had with it? The score perfectly synced up with that riddle. So
right.
The money wouldn't have mattered either way because they were going to go with that score.
Well, I agree. I agree with what you're saying. Like I think some riddles are set in stone, but maybe not all.
Yeah.
So, but I hear your point. I hear your point. So
I mean, I personally think we should stop looking at the money, because, you know, the people that were pushing the money that matters, they all stopped calling in as soon as you started watching the money. They all stopped trying to call in and push that fact, even though it's not true.
Okay. Well, I respect your opinion, so I'll consider it.
All right. Thank you, Zach.
Thanks, man.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, great call. Appreciate it. So Finland and Canada. Awesome. I'm going to have to go back and look at the dates of that and how that lines up with this too. Okay, the Astros did beat the Athletics yesterday. Again, Justin Verlander got his 213th win on the day, leaving 213 days left in the year. Justin Verlander equals 213. So, and then they won with their magic numbers, 5-1. And they became 6-1 against the Athletics on June 1st. And they kept the Athletics at 61 wins all time against the Astros. So that means today they could become 6-2, and the Athletics could get their 62nd win on 6/2, which we'll get to. There wasn't a lot to go off of for this game yesterday, and I favored the Mets just because I was hoping they could stay on 20 losses coming into today, the day on the 20-day numerology. And they led almost the whole game, but they blew it at the end. Hate when that happens. But the Dodgers, we did like them to beat the Phillies, staying on 19 losses on the 19 date. So let's get to today's games because they start in about a half hour. And again, I'm sorry, you guys. I thought I started right at 9 o'clock sharp. I didn't realize it wasn't broadcasting. There was some sort of glitch. I was talking to myself for 10 minutes. So, okay, let's get to the baseball games, and then we'll do the NBA playoffs second. So, Giants at Orioles. Oh, let me get my... Oh, weird. Why is that going? Here, let me zoom this in. Okay. So this Giants-Orioles game. Let me scroll down here. Get the right thing up on the screen. First of all, today's date numerology, 47-20-27. And remember, 47 is the 15th prime number. So numbers of focus today. It's also the 153rd day of the year. That's the 17th triangular number. It's the day leaving 212 days left in the year. That's the New York area code. Notice both Los Angeles teams won yesterday on the day leaving 213 days left in the year. LA's the 213 area code. So what's going to be up with the New York area code today? But 153, the 17th triangular number. So this Giants and Orioles game. Again, the Orioles, I'm expecting them to split their next two games, and their next home game is against Toronto. The Blue Jays is 23. If they split their next two, they'll be 9-23 at home. 23 is the 9th prime number. Their next loss is their 41st loss. Baltimore is 41. Let me look at the Orioles schedule real quick. I'm not crazy about this game. Just make sure I'm not missing something here. They go on a little road trip after this. They face the Rangers, then the Astros, and then they're back home for the Blue Jays. And the Blue Jays would be the perfect team to get the 23rd loss against, because Blue Jays is 23. If the Giants lost today, they would pick up their 17th away loss. But remember, their next game is their 59th game. 59 is the 17th prime. They play the Mets next. So picking up the 17th away loss in the 59th game would make a lot of sense. But we've seen it before where the team comes in to say their 59th game and they're already at 17 away losses, and they stay on the 17 away losses in the 59th game. So that's something to consider. If the Giants didn't win today, they'd stay at 13 away wins. Baltimore, again, is 41, the 13th prime. The Giants pitcher, he's 2-4 for the season. His next career loss is his 97th. 97, the 25th prime. So it almost seems like that's going to happen to him. It doesn't necessarily have to happen today. But it would make a lot of sense, again, if he got the 97th loss and fell to 2-5 on the season, because 97 is the 25th prime and Giants is 25. If he did lose today, 71, the 20th prime, 20 date numerology today. If he stayed on 71 wins. But again, all of this could also happen with a no decision. He could get that 97th loss and become 2-5 later. So it's the 58th game for the Giants. Baltimore is also 58. I think it's a tight call. I barely favor the Orioles just because I'm thinking that 23rd loss makes more sense to get against the Blue Jays, because Blue Jays is 23. So, but then there's that part of me going, man, but it would make a tiny bit more sense also if the Giants got that 17th away loss in their 59th game. So we have better riddles today. That one's a tight squeeze. If you're doing real-time betting, think about these potential narratives. The Twins and the Rays, again, this series has not followed the date numerology at all. All three games have gone against the date numerology. So dangerous series here. The pitcher for the Rays is at 20 career wins. If he did not win today with a loss or a no decision, he'd stay on 20 wins. The Twins are at 20 away wins right now on the 20-date numerology. It is a 47 date. Tampa Bay's 47. I noticed that Tampa is 81-77 versus the Twins. If they did lose today, they'd get their 78th loss. Sunday does equal 78. I don't like to use the gematria of the day of the week, but it's just an observation. Their next win at home versus the Twins is their 43rd, and Tampa Bay Rays is 43. So I just this series, I just don't trust it because the consistent variables have not come through. The Nationals and the Reds, what stands out about this series is Sonny Gray could get his 62nd career win today on June 2nd, 6-2. And Scherzer is 2-5 for the season. He could become 2-6. Today can also be written 2/6. So the pitcher records would make a lot of sense if the Reds won today. It is a 47 date numerology. This is the one disagreement with the pitchers. Because it's a 47 date, that's the 15th prime number. If the Reds lost today, they'd be 15-15 at home. And notice today has 27 date numerology. It's also June 2nd. The Reds could stay on 27 wins today. The Nationals could also pick up their 26th win on 2/6. So the team records are a direct contradiction with the pitcher records. And again, when things line up for both pitchers, it comes through a lot. So I got to shy away from this one too. That these early games are tougher. I think they're a roll of the dice. The only other thing I could say about the Reds is if they did win today, they would get to 137 wins, which is the 33rd prime. Nationals equals 33, so does Sunday. But, I just ultimately don't feel comfortable with that game. Too many contradictions. I am thinking the Braves are going to keep the Tigers at 22 wins, like I said yesterday. Braves equals 22. The Tigers can pick up their 17th away loss on the 153rd day of the year, the 17th triangular number. The Braves can stay at 27 losses on the 27 date. So I think the Braves get it done there. The pitcher for the Braves also, he can get his 71st career win today, which is the 20th prime number. We just saw the Raptors pick up their 71st win of the season on a 20 date numerology not that long ago. Teheran can also become 4-4 on the season. Detroit is 44. So I like the Braves there. I'm taking the Brewers to get to that 34th win. Pirates 34. I'm sticking with that thought. If the Brewers did win today, they'd stay on 26 losses on 2/6. Just the warnings, though, just so you see there are some contradictions here. Davies, the pitcher for the Brewers, could get his 26th loss on 2/6. Lyles, his record's interesting because he could get his 37th win today, or he could become 5-3 on the season. Milwaukee equals 37 and 53, so you can make an argument either way. If he lost today, he'd get his 55th career loss. Wisconsin's also 55. But the one thing I've been talking about for the series is the Brewers can get to 34 wins and Pirates is 34, and we see a lot of teams achieve the number that corresponds with Gematria of the opponent. Let me see. Also, today is excuse me, that's not true. The Pirates, today's going to be their 58th game. Pittsburgh equals 58. I should actually make a note about that. So it's their 58th game today. Pittsburgh's 58. Their next opponent's the Braves. They're going to play the Braves in their 59th game. Remember, 59 is the 17th prime. Let me check something real quick. Yeah, the Pirates are at home against the Braves, and they'll be playing on a 22 date numerology. So that's just the one concern. If the Pirates didn't lose today, they probably would lose that next home game, the 59th game, picking up the 17th home loss. 59 is the 17th prime. But again, we have seen teams pick up the loss before the prime number relationship and then stay on it in that game. So if the Pirates lost today, they'd get to 17 a game early, and then they could stay on 17 losses in their 59th game. I will say there's safer games today. It's just I've been staring at that 34 since before this series began, and I tend to stay with my first instinct. So the Indians and the White Sox. If the Indians win today, they're 15-15 on the 47 date numerology. 47 is the 15th prime. Indians also equals 47. Ohio equals 47. Games in Chicago, though. Chicago could also pick up their 15th home loss today on the 47 date. If Giolito did not win today, notice he's 7-1, 71 the 20th prime. He's also at 20 career wins today. He could stay at 20. Maybe he gets a no decision. Maybe he pitches a great game and somebody comes in and blows the game. But here's the other thing that's interesting. The White Sox are 6-5 versus the Indians this year, and the Indians are 5-6. White Sox does equal 57-66, but notice the teams could be 6-6 against each other if the White Sox lost today. So White Sox are the favorite, but I do think the Indians have the better riddle here. The 15s line up on both sides, and Giolito, even though he's pitching lights out this year, there's reason to believe he stays on those 20 wins today. No decision or a loss would do it. And the guy that's on the mound for the Indians, he's pitched well in one career start. He doesn't have a decision yet, though. Let me just run his Gematria real quick. New guy, see if there's any big clue in that. Please. Well, his name's got that 20 connection, too. His team's 5-6 versus the opponent. Okay. All right, so Cubs-Cardinals. The Cubs are on 15 away losses. What I noticed about this game was that Hamels is 4-5 versus the Cardinals. Again, Chicago's 46. Chicago Cubs is 46. Chicago Cubs is also 55. The 55 has been playing more this year than the 46 for whatever reason. Wainwright, he's 4-5 on the season, so he can do the 46 or 55 thing. But what stood out to me was, actually, I just thought about something else as I just look at this. But I noticed that Wainwright could get his 153rd career win on the 153rd day of the year. But I just thought of something. This number connects to the Chicago sports teams. Chicago Cubs is 91. So is Chicago Bears. Remember the Chicago Bears got Khalil Mack on September 1st last year, 9-1. So I am noticing now that he could get his 91st loss. Okay. The Cardinals, again, are at 18 home wins. They picked that up yesterday. We thought they would. If they didn't win again, they'd stay at 18. Cubs is 18. If the Cubs won today, they'd get their 14th away win. St. Louis does equal 43, the 14th prime. The Cardinals are 2-3 versus the Cubs this year. If they won, they'd be 3-3 on a Sunday. Sunday's 33. But let me actually run the name of the stadium, too. Busch Stadium, 41, 13th triangular, or 13th prime number. Yeah, I think this one's a little close for comfort. I mean, the 153rd win on the 153rd day of the year does make some sense, but man, that 91st loss against the Chicago Cubs, and then also the thing is the date numerology seems a little bit more favorable to the Cubs to me. The possibility of staying on 15 away losses. St. Louis is 47 as well. Did I put that up here? Yeah, so could stay on 15 away losses against St. Louis. Okay, the Royals and the Rangers. Keller's 3-6 on the season. Rangers is 37 in the most pure cipher, 46 if you use the rule for S. The loss, he'd be 3-7. Sampson for the Rangers is 3-7 for his career. He's 3-3 on the season. The Royals do have a shot at their 20th win today on the 20 date. Notice they're 8-22 away. I'm thinking they're going to split their next 2 games as well, become 9-23 away. I think that's very likely. The 20 is tough here because the Royals can get their 20th win of the season, or the Rangers can get their 20th home win on the 20 date. If the Rangers won, they'd stay on 27 losses also on the 27 date, and they'd stay at 27 losses against the Royals. Royals is 27. KC, K's the 11th letter, C's the third. So 11-3, 1-1-3, kind of like 1-1-3, the 30th prime. Rangers can also get that 30th win against KC. I noticed the Royals' next away game is June 15th, which is a date with 24 numerology. So the 9-23 thing is possible, but if they lost today and they lost their next game, they would get their 24th loss on a 24 date. So it's one other thing to consider. They're tied 282. The Rangers lead this season 4-2. I think things are a little bit better for the Rangers because the date numerology could reflect with 2 of their stats, the 20th home win and staying on 27 losses on the 27 date, plus Royals 27. And again, KC 1-1-3, the 30th prime. So they can get that 30th win. So I'd have to give the edge to the Rangers there. And then also just looking ahead, if the Royals did lose today, they'd pick up 23, and they could theoretically pick up their 24th away loss in the next away game for them, which is on a 24 date. Aaron Sanchez, he's 3-5 on the season. If he lost, he'd be 3-6. Toronto's 36 in both reduction ciphers. Senzatella for the Rockies can get his 20th career win on a 20-date numerology, stay at 15 losses. Again, today, 47-date, 15th prime. The Blue Jays can pick up their 20th away loss on the 20-date. This series has followed the date numerology perfectly from start. Well, if it follows today, it'll be start to finish. It'll be perfect. And yesterday we were talking about how the Rockies, if they sweep the Blue Jays, again, they'll get that 38th loss. Colorado equals 38. Colorado's the 38th state. Colorado Rockies equals 163, the 38th prime. So I'm thinking they're going to finish the deal here, and the Blue Jays are going down again. Today the line is the closest it's been. So I still think the Rockies got it though. Okay, Phillies and Dodgers. Notice the Dodgers' next win is that magic number 41. LA's 41. LA's also 13, 41, the 13 prime. Doesn't have to come today, but they're a game away from that. The one thing that's right on the surface is if the Dodgers lost, they'd pick up their 20th loss on the 20-date numerology. The tricky thing is, though, we also have the 47-date, the 15th prime. Phillies could get their 15th away loss today. So the pitchers, Cole is 79-52 for his career. He could get his 53rd loss in Los Angeles. Los Angeles is 53. We know about that from the World Series and Super Bowl. Or wait a minute. Excuse me. I got on the wrong line. My fault. Pivetta versus Rich Hill is the matchup here. So Pivetta he can get his 26th loss on 2-6 for his career. He is 3-1 on the season. He could become 4-1. LA is 41. Hill for the Dodgers is at 62 career wins. Today can be written June 2nd, 6/2 like 62. For his career, he's 1-2 versus the Phillies. LA is also 13. So the other thing is if he picked up a loss, he'd get his 43rd career loss today. Philadelphia Phillies equals 191, which is the 43rd prime number. So you got riddles that make both sense on his win and loss if he did lose. For the Pavetta guy, you could make sense of his 26th overall loss today, but you could also make sense of him being 4-1 on the season. So Pavetta's got the better narrative between the pitchers, I would say, for a probable win. Again, the Dodgers can pick up that 20th loss on the 20 date, which stands out in a big way. But the Phillies can also pick up their 26th loss on 2/6 and their 15th away loss on the 47 date. So this game's this is the hardest game to call in this series so far. We've done well in this series. Today's a tough one. Dodger Stadium does equal 211, which is the 47th prime. 47 is the 15th prime. So I'm not crazy about this game. Let me see if I can look at this one more time and see if there's something that jumps out this time. Pretty sure I looked at this earlier. Phillies got the Padres next on the road. Padres is 27. That doesn't mean the Phillies have to lose today, but if they got 2 more losses, it would make sense for them to have 27 losses against the Padres. San Diego's also 43. San Diego 43 is the 14th prime number. If they won today, they'd go into San Diego 14-14. They're playing tomorrow. Tomorrow will have the 21 date numerology. 20 be 48, 21, 28 tomorrow. Okay. And then the Dodgers. Okay, the Dodgers, Diamondbacks. Arizona and Diamondbacks both equal 42. So 2 wins from now, the Dodgers are at 42. You got to think that's coming in the next series. It's a 3-game series. This game's on 11:30 and 23. What's their away record? They're 16-12 away. Just trying to think about if we can get a clue by looking at the next games, but yeah, I think this one's just going to be tough. It feels like the Phillies should be able to pull out a game against the Dodgers because so far they've gotten beat good. What's the oh, hold on. This could be the final clue right here. Hold on. I'm pretty sure if the Phillies win today, they're 1-3 against the Dodgers. And if that's the case, I'd have to go with the Phillies because LA in 13, it's just that number. Let me see. 29. Pretty sure this series is the first time they played this year. I just want to verify that that's true. I think the Phillies are 0-3 against the Dodgers this year. Here we go. All right, they've only played 2 games? Oh, shoot, never mind. They've only played 2 games. My fault. Yeah, that one's tough. That one is tough. So the pitcher records probably make a tiny bit more sense if the Phillies pitcher won, though. Ugh. Man, Dodgers are a big favorite too, huh? I guess it's interesting that Pivetta is 3-1 with a 7.71 ERA. That's why it's such a big favorite there for the Dodgers. Yeah, there'll be better games. There's better games today. Okay, so Astros and Athletics. Houston's a favorite, but I think the A's are going to get it done here today. The reason why is in this right here. The A's are 61-66 versus the Astros all time. They can get their 62nd win today on June 2nd, 6-2. And the Astros are 6-1 versus the A's this year, meaning they can become 6-2 on June 2nd. So it's kind of just like what we were saying yesterday. Yesterday you had the Verlander riddle as well. The Astros' next game, not today, but tomorrow, will be their 61st game of the season. And I do think they'll pick up that 18th away win tomorrow. Or, excuse me, their next game. I think that's in 2 days. So, next game, not today, but the one after. Today's the 60th game. The next game against Seattle is the 61st. And that would be a great game to get the 18th away win in. So I'm liking the Athletics today. The 62 riddle on the board. Next game for the Astros making more sense for the win. What else was up here? The pitcher Garrett Cole is 3-1 for his career against Oakland. If he did win, he would be 4-1, and we know that's a big number in Oakland. He could get a no decision today. He could become 4-1 at a later time. Bassett for the Athletics is at 15 career losses. So if he won or got a no decision today, he could stay on 15 career losses on the 47 date. He is 3-1 on the season. With a win, he could become 4-1 as well. Oakland 41, Houston's 41. One other thing you could say goes for the Astros is they could stay on 20 losses on the 20 date. Astros is 20. They do have some riddles, the Astros, but well, the A's could also pick up their 15th home loss today. So it's just like yesterday. Yesterday, the Athletics had some riddles as well. It's just the best riddle to me seems that the 62 on 6-2 thing. So I'm going to take the Athletics in this one. June 2nd, 6-2, 62. I think that's the winner. Caller?
Hey, Zach, what's up? I just wanted to add in something about the Texas Rangers and the Kansas City Royals.
Okay.
So, did you look at this game yet? I've kind of been a little busy, so I've been in and out of the live stream.
I did it.
Did you? Okay. So here's something that I just wanted to add in, and it kind of like, you know, look at things from like a little bit different perspective. So anyway, the Royals are in their 59th game, and the Rangers are in their 57th game. Now, the Rangers are going for their 28th loss. So if you type out 28 like the number 28, it equals 57 in the most pure cipher in full reduction. And like I said, they're in their 57th game. Now, also, if the Rangers were to lose and the Royals were to win, they would become 20-39, like 239, and that's the 52nd prime.
Right.
And if you type out 28th with the H at the end, it equals 52 in the reverse full reduction, the 52nd prime. So I feel as though you don't, not that you're wrong about this, but don't like look at things in this way. Is that correct?
Well, I usually don't do the gematria of the numbers to determine the records, but sometimes I'll look at it. Like I know that there's pairings that come up a lot, like 16 and 33, for example. When you write out 16, it's 33. So I see that one a lot, but it's possible it's going on with the other numbers too. So yeah.
No, I see what you're saying. But no, I think who do you have in this game? Do you have the Royals or do you have the Rangers?
Well, I did say that this game's tight here. So again, 20-date numerology, Royals can get the 20th win of the season, or the Rangers can get their 20th home win. Keller can become 3-7 or 4-6. Rangers is 37 in the most pure cipher, but it is also 46. That Riddle played for them yesterday, the 46. The thing that stood out to me is if the Rangers won, they'd stay at 27 losses, and Royals equals 27 in the most pure cipher. So
That's right.
and we have a 27 date as well. So I was thinking, well, the date numerology would work with the Rangers' loss and win record if the Rangers won. So also, I noticed that the Royals' next away game's June 15th on a 24-date numerology. So if they lost today, they'd pick up their 23rd loss, and then they could pick up their 24th away loss in their next away game, which again is on a 24-date.
Yeah, that contradicts the prime number relationship, though, 9 and 23.
It does, and I mentioned that when I talked about it. I said that's the only thing about that. Then you wouldn't get the 9 and 23. But the prime doesn't come through every single time. It comes through more often than not, but not every time.
Yeah, about 65% maybe. But yeah, okay. Yeah, I just wanted to throw that in there because sometimes if the game's tight, you know, like I said, the Rangers going for the 28th loss. If you type out 28, it equals 57. Then there's 57th game, and you know, also 28 equals 52, and Kansas can become 20 and 39, like 239 to 52nd prime.
Yeah,
you know?
I see it.
But so yeah, I don't know. Just wanted to throw that out there as well. But yep, that's all I got for now.
All right, appreciate it. Good observations. Thank you.
All right, man. Take care.
So, I mean, it is true. Like a lot of times where we see like a 33rd game and somebody can pick up the 16th win or loss in their 33rd game, it usually goes out that way. When you write out 16 is 33. I don't do that with every number. It's just that there's certain patterns I've picked up on over the years. But I'll tell you what, if the Rangers get their 28th loss today, I'm going to go, okay, well, maybe we need to start doing that with more numbers. Maybe there really is something to that maybe it's true for all the numbers. But again, the date numerology is usually what I follow. And looking at the date numerology, this one is tight because the 20 can go either way. But the Rangers would stay on 27 losses on the 27 date and pick up the 20th win on the 20 date. Plus that next game for the Royals, the next away game's on a 24 date. So I got to give the edge to the Rangers there. And Rangers is 37 in the most pure cipher if Keller fell to 3-7. And also, like I said, KC. K is the 11th letter, C is the third, 113. 113, the 30th prime. Rangers can get that 30th win. So, okay. Astros and Athletics, again, tight riddle, but I'm thinking the 62 is where it's at. A's 62nd win all time. Astros become 6-2 against the A's for the year. And also the Astros' next game's their 61st. To me, that seems like the better game to get that 18th away win in. Out of all the prime number relationships, 61 and 18's got to be considered the most important in baseball. Prime equals 61. 61 is the 18th prime. This comes from sacred geometry. The flower of life is made out of 61 circles. And don't forget, geometry is 108, just like Major League, just like there's 108 double stitches on a baseball, just like Roger Maris hitting 61 and 61. Baseball equals 18. Okay. Something else I still debate on, just to throw it out there, is this is going to be the Athletics' 59th game, which is the 17th prime, and I'm not sure that it matters the opposing team, but if they kept the Astros at 17 away wins in the Athletics' 59th game, I look at that, but still not sure about that one. I still like the A's tonight, though. All right, Mets and Diamondbacks. Just like yesterday, there's not a lot of great riddles here. Merrill Kelly, if he lost, he'd be 4-7 on the season on the 47 date. The Diamondbacks would also pick up their 15th home loss on the 47 date. So I see that 47 date going against the Diamondbacks. The Mets' next game is on a 29-date numerology, June 4th, 19. They have a day off tomorrow. Their next win's their 29th. If they won today, they would go into that game on 29 wins. So if they lost today, they'd have a good shot at picking up the 29th win in the next game. But the 47 and the 15 was the only thing jumping to me. And maybe, hold on. Maybe I forgot to look at the head-to-head for this series. Let me double check that. That could be a clue. Okay, the Mets are 75-73 against the Diamondbacks, and we're in Arizona. 39-36 away. Okay, that is an overlap number with these two teams. Arizona and New York are the only two states that sum to 39, just using the most pure cipher, the reduction cipher. As the World Series after 9/11. If they lost, they'd get 74. What's up, caller?
Hey, Zach, what time does the live stream started already? Did the Decode started today?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It starts at 9 a.m. every day. 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern.
Oh, 9 a.m. Okay. I thought it was at 10 a.m. Okay.
I moved it about a month back, maybe a month and a half ago to 9 a.m. just because the baseball game starts so early.
Oh, okay. That's what we're wondering, because what happened is me and my brother, we were looking at that, and we were like, man, we don't know if we can catch these early games or not, and so that's okay.
Yeah, so I made the start time an hour earlier because of how early baseball starts. So that's what's been going on.
Ah, okay, damn. So we had just missed the games, because damn. Okay, all right. So it starts at 10. So he's going on right now. All right, cool. Thanks.
9 a.m. 9 a.m. start time.
Okay, all right. Perfect.
All right. All right. Yeah, no problem. Okay. It's the 149th game between these two teams today, which is the 35th prime, but I don't think there's a 35 on the board. Let me double check that. Yeah, there's not. So the only thing that's really jumping out is just that 47-date numerology. Merrill Kelly, if you fell to 4-7, the Diamondbacks would pick up their 15th home loss. So yeah, I got to lean Mets because of that. There's nothing else on the board to go off of. I am thinking the Mariners win today. Again, they can get their 26th win today in their 62nd game on June 2nd, 2/6 or 6/2. Seattle Mariners equals 62. Gonzalez, pitching for the Mariners today, could stay at 17 losses. Today's the 153rd day of the year, the 17th triangular. The Angels could also pick up their 17th away loss today. Again, that does connect to the date. It's the 153rd day of the year. I will remind that triangular number relationships are not anywhere near as consistent as prime number relationships, but it is still a mathematical fact that 153 and 17 have a relationship. So I think it very well could matter today. If the Mariners win, they get their 13th home win today. And LA is 13, of course. They're playing the LA team. So got to go with the Mariners there. Suarez, who's pitching for the Angels, he doesn't have a history, so that makes that tricky. I should note that Seattle equals 19 and 28. Angels can stay on 28 wins in Seattle. So that's that. The Marlins and Padres game. Marlins are on 20 wins, 20-date numerology here. The pitcher, he's 2-5 for the Marlins. If he lost today, he'd be 2-6. He could also pick up his 15th career loss today on the 47 date, and San Diego equals 47 as well. Strom for the Padres is at 15 career losses. He can stay right there. If the Marlins do lose today, they'll pick up their 37th loss of the season. They play Milwaukee next. Milwaukee's 37. Again, we do see a lot of teams go into a series and they're on a win-or-loss number that corresponds with the opponent. So starting that series against Milwaukee on 37 losses would make some sense. That said, the one contradiction is if the Marlins won today, they would stay on 36 losses, and Padres equals 27 and 36. So you could actually make a little bit of sense out of staying on 36 losses. The Padres have 101 wins versus the Marlins right now, 101. And that's the 26th prime number. Today is 2/6. So what I come back to are the pitcher records. The pitcher records make sense on both sides if the Padres win. So there are some other better games that we've gone through today than that, but I'd have to give the edge to the Padres there. What's up, caller?
Hey, just also real quick, Zach, wanted to add this in too. In the Rangers-Royals game, if the Rangers were to lose, as I'm not predicting, but I said it's possible, and I gave you reasons. But anyway, so if the Rangers were to lose, they become 19-10 at home, like 191, which is the 43rd time, as you know, and Kansas does equal 43.
Kansas City plays in Missouri, though. Kansas City's a Missouri team. Kansas City's not in Kansas. They're in Missouri.
No, I understand that, but it's just the name of the team. For the Golden State Warriors, golden equals 30. Just the word, and Steph Curry wears 30. I mean, sometimes the words in the name matter.
Okay.
So, yeah, and the reason that the reason I'm pointing that out is because like I said yesterday, with the Bay Area and the San Francisco Giants and the 184, the 58 game, 18-40. So yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I just wanted to throw that in there as well. So yeah, sometimes one word in the name does matter, and like I said, Steph Curry is an example. Golden equals 30, and he wears golden. So yeah, I just figured I'd throw that in there as well.
All right, thanks, man.
All right, take care.
Okie dokie. But just so everybody knows, Kansas City is in Missouri. It's not in Kansas. Yeah, I understand Kansas is the first part of the name, but I don't know. I would not do that. The Red Sox at the Yankees. So Price is on the mound. He's 145-77. His next loss is his 78th. New York equals 78. So does Sunday. Again, I'm not crazy about the gematria of the days of the week, but it is a fact. New York and Sunday are both 78. Sabathia, he's at 154 career losses. Boston Red Sox is 154. Price is 15-14 versus the Yankees. That means if he lost today, he'd be 15-15, 47-day, 15th prime number. So that stands out. Looking at the two pitcher records, I can't say that Sabathia has any clear riddle for a win, but if he did stay at 154 losses against the Red Sox, I could say, okay, well, that makes some sense. But Price, his record would make sense with a loss today, picking up the 78th loss against New York and becoming 15-15 on this day. Remember, today leaves 212 days left in the year. New York is the 212 area code. Yesterday was the day leaving 213 days left in the year. Both the LA teams won. LA's the 213 area code. So could both the New York teams get it done today on 212 days left in the year? What would go against the Yankees today, and we talked about this yesterday, that's part of the reason we had the Yankees winning yesterday, staying at 19 losses on the 19 date. Today has the 20-date numerology. Yankees could get the 20th loss on the 20 date, so that is right there, front and center. It's also the Red Sox 59th game, which is the 17th prime, and they can stay at 17 away losses. It's also the 153rd day of the year, the 17th triangular number, and they can stay, on the 17. It's New York's 33rd home game today. New York equals 33. New York also equals 39. They could get their 39th win of the season in their 33rd home game. The Yankees are 4-0 versus the Red Sox this year. The Red Sox are 0-4 versus the Yankees. If you want to get a little bit abstract, New York Yankees does equal 191, which is the 43rd prime, and 43 is the 14th prime. If Boston won today, they would be 1-4 versus the Yankees. But I'm conflicted on this game. I was thinking it was going to be an easy call for the Red Sox today. It's just David Price's record. It looks destined for the loss today. And I don't like to lead with the pitchers. I do like to lead with the date. The date's a lot more consistent than just going with the pitchers, but we've seen it before. We've seen it multiple times this week where the date numerology didn't come through because the riddle ended up being through the pitcher. And the thing about David Price and CC Sabathia is they're both household names in the league. These are veteran pitchers with a lot of games and a lot of history. So, they're not just, they're not these guys that come in and they've only got like 20 career decisions under their belt. So, I am conflicted on today's game. Let me again look at who these teams are playing next here. Red Sox are at the Royals next on a 22 date. Boston. 49 date as well. Let me think. Is there anything that goes with the away record? The next game is on a 29-date numerology, but that's not going to help us. They're 29-29 right now. Again, that 30 thing with Kansas City. Oh, God, that could go either way, though. Just KC's that 113, the 30th prime. How many games this next series? 3-game series. And on a 24 date. Okay. Oh, something else that should definitely be up here is Yankees can pick up 22nd home win. Boston's 22. So that's not the date numerology, but that is the Gematria. Here, I even got to look at this. The pitcher birthdays are really great to use in the playoffs. If you were following me last year, we went perfect through a lot of the playoffs. Every pitcher was synced up with their birthday. But in the regular season, the birthdays haven't been as helpful. But I just got to look. This is a special, I mean, this is like the most historic rivalry in sports. So I just got to see how things line up here with the birthdays with David Price and CC Sabathia. Okay, so it's 281. Oh, whoops, that's supposed to say August 26th. Okay, so it's 280 days after David Price's birthday or his 281st day of his age, which is the 60th prime number. And let me just make sure there's not some connection to 60. David's 22. David Price is 62. Okay, I like the date. Price is 30. Let me make a note about that. CC Sabathia. His next loss is 155. He's been sitting on the 154 for a minute. And did I put up their stats up here for their... It's his 32nd game against Boston. Boston is 32. Let me see. Wait, I should also measure to his upcoming birthday real quick. It's 85 days to Price's upcoming birthday. Boston's 85 and Red Sox is 85. All right. Let's see what it is for CC. I always forget he has the same birthday as me. Okay. So for CC, it's 316 days after his birthday or his 317th day of his age. 317 is the 66th prime. 66 is the 11th triangular. New York's the 11th state. Yankees are on 11 home losses. Was it 50 days to, yeah, or no, 49 days? 49 days to his upcoming birthday. 49. Man. What do the Yankees play again? Wait a minute. Am I missing something else up here? It's a span of 50 days to CC's birthday. With regards to it being a span of 50 days to CC's birthday, the Yankees could become 5-0 versus the Red Sox this year. Yankees got the Blue Jays next on the road. Give a day off and then they play them. Yankees. They'll have 22, 49, 22, 29 date numerology. Their away record 17-8. So their next away loss is 9. Blue Jays is 23, the 9th prime. Shoot. Okay. All right. Nationals are up early on the Reds. Here again, just to scan real quick back through baseball before we go into the playoff game. The pitcher records were in conflict with each other in this game. This game was just in conflict because the Nationals can get the 26th win, but the pitcher records make more sense for the Reds. So yeah, we weren't crazy about that game. Again, thinking the Braves are going to keep the Tigers on 22 wins. Brewers got that shot at the 34th win against the Pirates. Pirates 34. Just the one thing for the Pirates was their next, not today, but their game after this is their 59th game. And 59 is the 17th prime number. Their next home loss is 17. That's the only concern with the 34. Brewers win today, though. They stay on 26 losses on 2-6. The Brewers pitcher lost. He would get his 26th loss on 2-6, though. That was the other thought. Hold on. It's the White Sox 59th game. They can get that 17th home win. The one riddle for the White Sox today. The 15s, though, 47 date numerology, 15th prime. Indians can get the 15th away win. White Sox can get the 15th loss. If Giolito did not win today, he would stay at 20 wins on the 20 date. 59, though, is concerning. The Rockies is probably the least conflicting game. Blue Jays can get the 20th away loss on the 20 date and the 38th loss in Colorado. Colorado 38th, the 38th state. So I think the Athletics, even though this riddle does go back and forth, I like the Athletics getting their 62nd win and making the Astros 6-2 against the A's this year on the 62 date. And the Mariners getting their 26th win in their 62nd game on this date, 2-6, 6-2. So I think those are some of the better plays today. I think those are the three games I like the most. So a lot of these other games have conflicting riddles. So looks like the Orioles just started with a leadoff home run. Or wait, we got 1 run, 2 hits. I don't see anybody on base. What's going on here? Something's wrong with that. All right, let's talk about the basketball playoff game. The basketball playoff game, game 2. So game 1 was all about the 30 riddle with Toronto. That was about as clear of a riddle as you'll ever see. Let me zoom this in a little bit more. The Warriors right now, they are 12-5 in 2019 NBA playoffs. Hey, check this out. We should have done this before the game last game. It would have been one more riddle. They're 12-5 right now. Del Curry, 125. Remember number 30? We saw that big 30 riddle last time. We know that Oakland equals 126. Raptors is also 46. The Raptors won with 118 points in that game that had a lot to do with Del Curry and Steph Curry. So anyway, just wanted to show you that. The Warriors are now 12-5 in the playoffs after that last loss. If they lost today, they would be 12-6. That's the big Oakland number. But in light of today having the 47-date numerology, remember the Philadelphia Warriors won the championship in 1947, the first basketball championship. And this year's the 47th year in Oakland. They raised the banner on 4/7, April 7th. So 47 is a big number for the Warriors. Today's the 47 date. If the Warriors did lose, again, they would become 12-6. Big number with Oakland. But if they won, they'd be 13-5. And 135 is the Philadelphia number. Philadelphia established on the 135 date numerology. So many things in Philadelphia sports history are 135. Fly, Eagles, fly. You know, Bryce Harper just joined the Phillies 135 days after his birthday. We saw the Philadelphia college basketball teams do all the 13-5 things this year. You know, the record set by Carson Wentz, 134 completions without an interception, his 135th pass got picked, plus a whole lot more. 135, Philadelphia, big number. And the Warriors carry the Philadelphia tradition. So that's something else to consider, becoming 13-5. If the Warriors won today, they would be 7-3 away in these playoffs. This is the 73rd NBA season. Steph Curry's born on the 73rd day of the year. Curry brothers equals 73, our Western Conference Finals. All right. The Warriors are 69-30 on the season. This is going to be the 100th game. Remember, we have the riddle going with the Drake song, 0 to 100. The next loss is 31. Curry does equal 31. The Warriors are 33-17 away. I'll say it before our friend calls in. He always loves Sunday 33 riddles because Sunday equals 33. They don't always come out this way, but if the Warriors did lose today, they would stay on 33 away wins on Sunday. The Raptors right now are 13-6 in the 2019 playoffs. The next win's their 14th. Toronto is on the 43rd parallel. 43 is the 14th prime. The number that seems to be more symbolic to me here, though, is 13-7, because that's a bit like 137, the 33rd prime. And NBA Finals. NBA Finals equals 33 in the most pure cipher. So Raptors could fall to 13-7 today. They're 9-2 at home. With a loss, they'd be 9-3. Oracle Arena's 93. When they beat the Warriors this year in the regular season, when they beat the Warriors in Oakland, the Warriors stayed at 93 points. It's like when LeBron James won on the real King James's birthday in Oakland, the Cavs won with 93 points. So 93 is a symbolic number to the Warriors. The only question is, does it make sense in the Raptors' home record? So I'll just make a note here that Oracle Arena is 93. The Raptors are 71-30 for the season. Their next win is 72. Toronto is 72. It doesn't have to come today. The thing about 71 is 71, the 20th prime number. Game 2 on 20-date numerology. So they could stay on 71 wins today on the 20-date. The Raptors are 41-11 at home. Golden State's 41, Oakland's 41. Got that 41st win over them. The Raptors are 30-19 away. So it doesn't matter. That's next game. The Warriors are 188-156 in the playoffs. M-Cube did not keep track of one of the games, so the M-Cube loss can't count. So M-Cubes has them at 188 and 155 right now. The Raptors are 45-56 in the playoffs. Their next win is their 46th. Raptors is 46. Del Curry's 46. Their next loss is their 57th. NBA Finals is 57. An extended thought about 57 is that when you write it out, it equals 131. Oakland equals 131 as well. So I'm asking, does it make more sense for them to get that 57th loss in Oakland? The Warriors are 28-18 versus the Raptors all time. This will be the 47th game on the 47-date numerology. The Raptors took it in the 46th game. Remember, Raptors is 46. Del Curry's also 46. They won it with 118 points. The Warriors are 12-12 away right now. They're 0-1 versus the Raptors in the playoffs. So I should make a note here. Raptors could become 2-0 in playoffs on 20-date numerology. Game 2 does equal 33. The 33 could go either way. Again, the Warriors could stay on which one is it here? The Warriors could stay on 33 away wins, or the Raptors could become 13-7, a bit like 137, the 33rd prime. Steve Kerr is now 75-25 in the playoffs. It is June 2nd, or 2/6, like 26, if he got his 26th loss today. It's 117 days to Steve Kerr's upcoming birthday. Toronto is 117. It's also a span of 118 days. Just lost with to the Raptors, who scored 118. Nick Nurse, again, he's 13-6, 71-30 for his career. That next win is 72. Toronto's 72, but if he stayed on 71 today, just like the team, that's the 20th prime. We have the 20-date numerology. Today's his 314th day of his age, the Pi number. Steph Curry born on Pi Day. The game is 80 days after Curry's birthday, or his 81st day of his age. It's Klay Thompson's 115th day of his age, 114 days after his birthday. Kerr's next loss is his 114th. Draymond Green's 90 days after his birthday. Golden State Warriors is 90. I noticed that today is Del Curry's 49th week of his age. Warriors is 49. So thought that's interesting. Of course, his son is Steph Curry. Should make another note here. It was the 46th game between Raptors and Warriors. Come back and double check that. All the 47 on today's game makes me want to favor the Warriors, because, again, that's their number. Philadelphia won the championship in 47, 47th season in Oakland. The banner raised on 4-7. And okay. I noticed Kyle Lowry equals 47, the veteran for the Raptors. So that's also interesting. Today's 27 days before Kawhi Leonard's birthday. Again, we have the 27-date numerology. So you know what? Let me see something real quick here. I'm pretty sure that all right, so Ayesha Curry obviously has to do with the riddle. We've covered that. I just want to see something real quick. All right, whoops, I put in the wrong year. Today's 71 days after Ayesha Curry's birthday, or her 72nd day of her age. Toronto Raptors 71, Toronto 72. Let me see here. Game 2 is 71 days after her birthday, or 72nd day of her age. Okay. Again, Toronto Raptors 71, Toronto 72, and she's born in Toronto. Let me make sure. So the next game is on the 23 date. June 5th. Let me look more at that June 5th date. June 5th. Also look at this date. Let me double check. I'm looking for a 23 real quick, just because the next game is on a 23 date. 23 would fit in any way. Yeah, I don't see it. I don't think there's a 23 up there. Next game will be 83 days after Curry's birthday. That's the 23rd prime. All right, I got a few more notes down here. So Curry's currently 15-3 against Toronto. And again, today's the 153rd day of the year. That's the 17th triangular number, NBA 17. If Curry didn't win today, he'd stay at 15 wins on the 47 day against Toronto. Kawhi Leonard is 18-9 against the Warriors. 199 is the 46th prime. Again, Raptors is 46. So looking at that, just the players, I would think, okay, well, that looks better for the Raptors between those two guys. But the big conflict today is the fact that the Raptors are on 71 wins. Again, Toronto Raptors is 71. That's the 20th prime. If they stayed there today, that would make sense. Staying at 71 wins on the 20-date numerology makes sense because 71 is the 20th prime, just like how they got their 71st win in the last game on the 20-date. Where's the game one numerology? So game one, 20-47. Today's 20-47 as well. Let me just run through. Let me quickly just run through each game and just see if anything jumps out here with the alignments between Curry and Kawhi. March 14th. So the next game is June 5th. That's 83 days. They play June 7th. 85 days. You got to think that Curry's definitely going to win this game. Curry equals 85 in basketball. I bet you Curry has a dominant game here, game 4. So the sweep thing is probably definitely on the board. I don't see Toronto sweeping the series. But okay, June 10th would be the next game. So what's that? 88 days, first Pi Day in 88. Also 89th day of his age. 2 months and 27 days, Pi connection. It's game 5. Games in Toronto. You know, about that 35 there, if the Warriors won today, they'd be at 34 away wins, and they would have a chance at their 35th away win in game 5 if they won today. So I need to make a note about that. If Warriors won game 2, they would have a chance at 35 away wins for the season in game 5. That day's got 55 and 35 numerology. Raptors is 35 and 55. So June 13th is 91 days, and then June 16th, 90. June 16th would be Curry's 95th day of his age. 94 days after his birthday, or his 95th day of his age. Warriors is 95. And the Toronto Raptors were established in 1995. So, again, that's Father's Day. Father's Day, Del Curry, big Big riddle in this thing. Father's Day is 107. Isn't Raptors 107? Okay. So Del Curry played for the Raptors. The Game 7 thing really is making a lot of sense. If both of these teams split on each other's court, they both have these 7-3 records for the 73rd NBA season. That's the other thing that's eating me up today is just, it's like, how does the 7-3 not happen in the 73rd NBA season? Del Curry's birthday is June 25th, so it's 9 days after this game. Okay, Curry. Let me see. Let's see how the early money is. Let's see. The money is huge on the Warriors right now. Getting a lot can change by game time. ABC, what's our ABC Gematria? ABC 75, 621. If somebody just called, please call back because it rang one time and then it immediately hung up. And if you don't know what the number is to call in, the number is 509-731-0567. If you want to call in, the number is 509-731-0567. The things that weigh the most on my mind about this game is the possibility of becoming 7-3. I don't know what the connection is to 64. 7-3 makes so much sense for the 73rd NBA season. That would be the Warriors with a win. They'd be 7-3 away on the year. And also the fact that the Raptors are at 71 wins and we have the 20-date numerology. Caller? I don't know what happened there. I picked up the call and it disconnected. So if you meant to call in, please call back. I don't know if my phone's having a problem. It says I got full bars. So seems like my signal's good. Okay. And then also just the Raptors record. I see the symbolism in 9-3. And I see the symbolism in 13-7 more than I do in 14-6 and 10-2. Make sure I'm not missing something with Canada. Caller?
Hey, Zach. Are you able to do me a favor and can you go to Gematrinator? I just want to talk for 1 second about the Phillies-Dodgers game. So if you go to Gematrinator and I just want to say this first too. So the Dodgers are in their 32nd home game, and if you type out 32nd, and then the Phillies are in their 28th away game, and then you type out 28, and the Phillies are going for their 34th win, and you type out 34. I don't think that this is by accident, but the overlap is pretty significant for the Phillies to get that 34th win in the Dodgers' 32nd home game and their 28th away game. Who do you have for this game?
Okay. What are you doing exactly right now, man? Are you watching the live stream or are you just like... Because I mean, I'm right now. I'm talking about the NBA Finals, and we went over this. I like it when people call in about the game that we're talking about while we're on it.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't. I don't really worry too much about the NBA. There's only one game going on, but yeah, I just think that this is something that is very important that I think that a lot of people overlook. And I think this can really help out a lot of people. But if you disagree with it, you disagree with it. It is what it is.
So what is your point? You write out 32, you write out 34th, or what? Which was it? You write out 30.
You have to write out 28th with an H at the end. Write out 32nd, and you write out 34. And I don't think that's by accident that the overlap in those numbers that you type out. The Phillies, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. 32nd. How are you deciding whether you're writing like 32 or 32nd and 34 or 34th?
Doesn't matter. I mean, you can write 32 as 32, or you can write it as 32nd. I mean, it's the same exact thing. I just think that these are the types of games where, these are the types of games where if it's close, this tells. I mean, I do this all the time. It comes through more often than not. I know that you disagree with this technique of decoding by typing out the numbers in the games. I know you disagree with that, but 3 out of the 4 base ciphers overlap with 32nd and 28, and for 34, and it doesn't overlap with 41 at all. And in Gematria, it has to equal each other. Things have to line up, and I just think that it's the type of game where if it's close, you can look at something like this, and it might help you out. That's the whole reason. I'm just trying to help people. That's really what it's all about.
Okay. Well, I mean, you just started calling in for the first time yesterday, so I'm
well. The reason for that is because the last time I called in, or the first time I ever called in, after I hung up, you were like, "Yeah, that guy was a tool." So
What happened? What happened? What happened?
Do you remember the conversation where I don't want to say I called you out, but I just made light of the fact that about your book and how it equals 7704209, like Masonic 7429.
My book doesn't equal that.
No, buy the book, learn the code, see through the deception.
Okay. Yeah. So now I do know who you are, and yeah, I explained to you. I said, "Well, I didn't realize that," and then you kept accusing that I did. So you did seem like a tool. So that's why I called you that. So anyway.
No, I didn't mean to attack you or anything.
All right.
Like that.
All right. Well, later, man. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not crazy about that guy. He's just calling in and saying random things, and there's no rhyme or reason to what he's saying. And he's calling in when we're not talking about games. He's like, "I'm not really paying attention. Like, where are we right now?" So yeah, I do think that guy is a tool. Okay. And I got to make sure I know what number that is. So, because yeah, he's just calling saying random nonsense. I mean, how are you picking if you're writing out 32 or 32nd or 34 or 34th? He says it doesn't matter. Yeah, it does. How are you deciding? Just can't just be random about it. All right. And he has never called into this sports live stream. What he's talking about when he called in was my radio show. So totally different thing. Yeah, I'm not crazy about tonight's NBA game. Last game was a easy riddle. That 30 just stacked over and over. Today, I think the Warriors have the slightly better riddle, but the one concern is if the Warriors do lose, they're 12-6 heading back to Oakland, and they're 12-6 in the playoffs, and that is the Oakland number 126. But the Warriors do carry the Philadelphia tradition, and if they win, they're 13-5. 135 is the big Philly number. So I am really starting to think this series is going 7 games though to Father's Day. Del Curry, I mean, it just makes too much sense. The father who played for the Raptors. So, Warriors win or lose today, I don't think it I'm not worried about the Warriors losing the series if they lose today. It's okay if they're 0-2, but that 12-6 riddle, that I would say that's the most condemning thing for the Warriors today, becoming 12-6. What's up, caller?
Hey, what's up, Zach? Hey, do you hear me?
Yeah.
First of all?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Hey, I was wondering, can we think about when Kawhi got the MVP? Because he already has a ring under his belt, right? And he won on Father's Day last time he got the MVP award game. I don't know what game it was, but last time he won the finals against the Heat. And it's kind of funny that it's falling on Father's Day again this year because his father died, and like when he was in high school, and they made a big old video about how it was his father, he plays for his father, some bullshit like that.
Wait, hold up. What player is this with Father's Day?
Kawhi.
He's played on Father's Day before?
Yeah. He played on in the Spurs when they won the championship. He got MVP on Father's Day.
Is that right?
Yeah, like that's what I saw last night. I saw watching a video because it meant so much to him because his father died. I'm pretty sure it was a sacrifice, but you know how it goes.
Hold up, I gotta look this up real quick. Death of Kawhi Leonard's father. Okay.
Yeah, and then he won the MVP. Blah blah blah. They beat LeBron. He beat LeBron.
Mark Leonard. So Heavy.com just did an article on this. Okay, yeah, and LeBron has all that. His dad died on January 18th. You got to be kidding me. 118.
Yeah, that's why I was like, bro, there has to be something with this.
That was a date with 47 numerology. 19, 27,
yeah.
47.
Yeah, so.
All right, hold up. Father's Day. Let me look at this one more time. Father's Day.
Hey, man, I'm going to let you go because I'm at Disneyland. I just wanted to call that in there, man.
All right, yeah, I appreciate it. That's a great observation.
Yeah, you're right on, man.
All right, thanks. All right, Mark Leonard. All right, Mark Leonard. Let's see. His name is 185 like basketball, 68 like basketball, 49 like Warriors. Huh. Kawhi, let me see. Kawhi Leonard, Finals MVP. In a 111-92 victory, the NBA Finals 111. 2014 NBA Finals. Let's see. It ended June 15th. Caller?
Hi, I just wanted to say, I don't know if it has anything to do with anything, but Siakam, they're doing a special on him tonight, starting at 8 o'clock, and he's been getting more points than Kawhi.
Wait, say it again. They're doing a special on Kawhi Leonard? Caller?
Yes?
It's easier if you mute your video in the background when you call in, but what did you just say? They're doing a special on Kawhi Leonard?
No, they're doing a special on Siakam, the one from the Raptors,
Oh.
like where he was born and coming up. And he's been getting more points than Kawhi Leonard, so I don't know if you looked into him. I'm listening to your stream.
I'll look into him right now. I didn't know. Where are they doing this special at? Is that the channel that's showing the game?
I believe so.
Okay, I'm gonna.
I think it's ESPN. It comes on at 8 o'clock tonight, so that's before the game.
Okay, I'm gonna look into it. Great tip. I really appreciate it.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you. Bye. Okay, so Kawhi was the MVP Father's Day, June 15th, 2014, as the caller said. That was a date with 35 and 55 numerology. And he wasn't on the Raptors then, but it's interesting because Raptors is 35 and 55. let me see how that lined up with all right, June 29th. So it would have been 14 days before his birthday. This year it'll be, so it was 14 days before his birthday or a span of 15 days. MVP's 15. So would have been 351 days after his birthday. Isn't, what is it? Most valuable player? Maybe that's just for the Super Bowl. Is it Super Bowl most? Super Bowl MVP's 351, the 26th triangular. So, okay, not the same for the NBA. Most valuable player. Okay, well, that is really interesting that he's won it before on Father's Day, and his father died on January 18th. How many days was that from his birthday? Hold on, I just gotta look at these things real quick. January 18th, 2008 is when his father died. June 15th, 2014 is when he was MVP. 334 weeks and 2 days. 2,341 days. 2, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4, 7, 69. Let's see about this. 4167. No, it's not prime this time. So last time he was MVP on Father's Day, it had a prime number relationship that went back to 69. Leonard's 69 too. So last time when he was finals MVP, it connected to the number 69 on Father's Day, and it was closer to the death of his father. This time, it doesn't have that kind of alignment. And this time, the father, I would say, that's more in focus is Del Curry. Again, that's Steph Curry's father, and he played for the Raptors. So, But I think that's another sign that this is probably going to Father's Day, Game 7. So, I need to look at Siakam, like she just said, or he wears number 43 for the Raptors. Number 43 for Raptors. How do you spell his name? Siakam. Pascal Siakam. Let's see. Siakam. His name's 106 like Oakland, California. 108 like Oracle, like Golden State Warriors. 38 like Ontario. His birthday is April 2nd, 4/2. He's born on the 92nd day of the year. Today should be 61 days after his birthday. Let me just make sure that's true. Should be 61 days after his birthday. Finals is 61. So he has a special on him today. 8 weeks and 5 days too. Basketball 85. But a special on him 61 days after his birthday. He's 25 years old right now. Finals 25. He's got 11929 birth numerology. Here, let me add him to my list of players that we're tracking the birthday relationship. Siakam. Okay. Steve Kerr. Make sure I'm just not missing some clue that's right there. The other thing about Game 7, just when you write out the word, is that 152. Pennsylvania is 152. Again, the Warriors are originally from Pennsylvania. Yeah, I'm not thrilled about tonight's game. I do think more things are in favor of the Warriors, but I do worry about them falling to 12-6 because that is the Oakland number. And actually, let me look at let me see if there's any headlines about this again. Remember, this story over the years has always been connected to the Warriors in the NBA Finals. It reemerged, the ghost ship fire, during the time of the Rockets series. And I told people then, because a lot of you guys like the Rockets, I was saying, I don't know how you guys like the Rockets with everything we've been talking about this year. But this story was connected to the NBA Finals in the past. I just want to see if there's any new details in this story here. Molotov cocktail. Okay. I just got to run the gematria on this. May 30th. So this latest detail came the day game 1 of the NBA Finals, of course. What's Molotov cocktail? If you use the rule for K, it is 69, like how the Warriors stayed on 69 wins. Oh, no, that's not true because the V's there too. Actually, I take it back. It's not true. What could it be about that story, though? What's up, caller?
Hey, Zach, I wouldn't waste a lot of time with this, but one thing I can say, I do like Game 5, the Warriors to win, but Adam Scheffner, the Jewish guy who made the 100 days to the 100 season with the Bears and the Packers post, he posted 2 days ago that he likes the Warriors in 5.
The Warriors in 5?
Yep. And
okay, so if that happens, the possibility of the Warriors in 5 is then the Warriors would play 21 games in the playoffs, and 73 is the 21st prime number. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, and it'll 88 days from his birthday, a stand of 89, and it's the Warriors. I mean, it's the Raptors' 24th year. Game 5 is 41. They'll win 4-1.
Right, Oakland's 41. That is a possible scenario, but man, I'm struggling with that Father's Day thing though, with Del Curry being a big part of this. So, but yeah, that is true. If the Warriors win in Game 5, then there'll be 21 playoff games. It's the 73rd NBA season. 73 is the 21st prime. They get their 73rd win, and you have another series where a team won 4 straight. So, it's possible.
Yep, because it'll be technically a 5-game sweep is what they call it. But today I think you should just review baseball games one more time because it's some money in baseball today.
There's only 3 games that I really like today in baseball. There's and I'll just say again what those.
You following the 15s and the 27s?
Yep.
No,
There's more than 3 games that I think are going to go a certain way, but there's only 3 that I really like. So, I'll review baseball. Yeah, I'll do that. But I still want to get the finals game right. So.
Yeah, I think most of the baseball games that are good are already on.
Well, the
White Sox. There's all the
Well, I don't agree with that. Well, I don't know what kind of early games. I like the Rockies today. I think the Rockies are good to go. I like the Athletics today, and I like the Mariners today. I like those 3 games a lot. There's some games that started, like I've been saying, I like the Brewers to get 34 wins. I think the Braves are going to keep the Tigers at 22. So
You sure you like the A's?
the A's can. So the Astros do have riddles today, but the A's can get their 62nd all-time win against the Astros today and make the Astros 6-2 against the A's this year on June 2nd.
Oh yeah, I was looking at Oakland's pitcher. He came in 3-1. He can be 3-2, or stay at 3-1 and get the no decision.
Well, you can also get to 4-1. Oakland's 41. Look at the Astros. The Astros have riddles today to win. Don't get me wrong, but their next game's their 61st, and they can get their 18th away win in their 61st game, 61 to 18th prime. So the big thing for the Athletics is that 62. It's June 2nd. Again, they can get the 62nd all-time win and becomes the Astros would become 6-2 against the A's this year. So,
Dude, you sounded more like me, man. Remember, I used to call in and you used to say, man, stick with the date, man. Now I'm calling in. You talking about all the pictures and stuff.
I'm not talking about the pitchers. I'm talking about their all-time win records with the date. It's June 2nd.
Yeah, man, you sound like me like 2 weeks ago, Zach.
You're confusing me. Well, I'm just saying I feel like I am always talking about the date. So I don't know if I was different 2 weeks ago. But.
Oh, yeah. But baseball should be good today, man. I'm not betting on the Dubs game, so I'm going to just give friendly advice. I do like the Dubs to win, but I'm not betting on it.
You like who to win?
I like the Warriors. I'm sticking with the Warriors, man.
I do think they have the better riddle today, the Warriors. I just worry about them falling to 12-6. That's my one concern. So
even if the Warriors go down 3-0, I still would I wouldn't even flinch, honestly. The way these things are scripted is they want to bring excitement. They want everybody thinks Toronto has a chance. That's what they want.
Well, and exactly. So if Toronto gets up 2-0, then everyone's gonna be like, "Uh-oh, is that Toronto's year?" But I don't think so.
Oh, that, what's the funniest thing? Well, no, I don't think they're going to go down 3-0. But there was a stat that came up with Portland. It says that teams that went down 3-0 are like 0 and 135. So after Portland, it was 135, and then I'm pretty sure there was another team that went down 3-0 after that series.
Oh, I don't think the Warriors are going to start 3-0. That would really amaze me. So, all right.
Yeah, but I'm just not betting it. So I'm just calling in to say that I wouldn't bet this, and baseball looks better.
All right. What are your favorite picks in baseball today?
I like the Rockies. I like the Astros. Dodgers.
You're not into that Mariners riddle on 6-2, getting that 26th win? Seattle Mariners 62, 26th win in 62nd game?
Dude, honestly, I think the Mariners are going to go 28-43. And that's probably the only game I'm going to bet with them. Dude, I've been losing so much money. It's like I'll win every game and then just lose on the Mariners game. It's like, damn.
You lost on the Mariners game yesterday? Yesterday was a good riddle for them to lose yesterday.
No, not yesterday. I'm talking about like the past 2 weeks.
Oh.
Like they always have something that looks good, and then it's like something else that happens. So I'm just like, I'm just going to keep the teams that I'm betting on to win the World Series off my tickets.
Okay. Who you like in the Yankees and Red Sox today?
Yankees, Sox. Honestly, not playing that, dude. I'm honestly just playing the Dodgers. I'm following that 15.
Okay. Something to think about yesterday was the day leaving 213 days left in the year, 213, the LA area code. Both LA teams won yesterday. Today's 212 days left in the year. That's the New York area code, 212.
Yeah, remember I called you yesterday and said whoever wins the Dodgers game yesterday is going to win today. And that's exactly what I've been doing, dude. I'm just looking for the low-hanging fruit, watching it for the next. That's the games that I like. The games where we say, all right, this week, if this team wins today, they're going to win tomorrow. So if they win that day, then I'm betting them the next day. And it's been like 90% basically. The only time I'm losing is on the Mariners games and always want to bet the trash team. Like when we have those good riddles, like, oh, the Royals can do this, and if they lose, and it's like, that's why I just kept keeping the sucky teams off my ticket and just trying to find value, trying to find them games that if they win the day before, they win guaranteed the next day. Those are the games that are 90%. Now I'm liking Dodgers today.
Okay. The one concern for the Dodgers to look out for is they could pick up that 20th loss on the 20-day numerology, but the Phillies do have riddles today, so.
And the Dodgers, they've been skipping those riddles all year. It's been like 10 times the Dodgers could get the date with the day, and it still don't work. Like, didn't it happen like 2 days ago or something like that?
Well, their series has been following the date numerology. We've got every Dodger game right following this series, or the date numerology for the Phillies so far this series, so.
Yeah, I'm going to ride that 15, just like I said yesterday. Like,
Yeah, the 15's there. Yeah, so that's the conflict with that game. All right, man.
All right. Don't take up too much time.
All right, see you. Okay, so again, just to scan baseball one more time real quick. Some of these games have already started. The Giants and Orioles was not a good game today. It's one of those teeter-totter riddles. So the Twins and Rays, again, this game had not followed any date numerology pattern. If the Twins won today, it would continue the trend of not following the date numerology, because today's 20-date numerology, they have a chance to stay on 20 away wins. Again, staying on the number is never the most consistent riddle, but it's the only potential thing here to even look at with the date. So this series, it's just like everything's gone the exact opposite of the date numerology. They're up 3-0 right now, so it's looking good for them again. We did talk about how Tampa could get their 78th loss today, though, and Sunday does equal 78. So I don't like to go with the Gematria of the day of the week, but it was there. What's up, caller?
Yeah, Zach, this is Chris.
Hey, what's up, man?
What's going on, man? I'm really liking the baseball today. It's got some pretty good riddles, but it's a lot of certain games I stayed away from, though.
Okay.
Like the Nats game. I got the Giants over the Orioles. I picked the Twins over the Rays. The Brewers is leading right now. I had the Brewers over Pittsburgh.
Okay.
And then I took the Indians and White Sox both ways because they could go either way.
I agree.
Just to be on the safe side.
Okay.
And then the Fields and Dodgers game, I barely won that last night. They won an extra innings, but I got the over in that game though.
Okay.
I ain't really picked the Astros. I stayed away from that game. I don't know who can win the Astros. I had the Astros last night because Verlander was on the mound, but today it's pretty on. I probably stay away from that game.
The Verlander game was a good riddle yesterday because he got his 213th win on the day, leaving 213 days left in the year, and his name equals 213.
Yeah, and I like the Padres over the Mariners today.
The Marlins. They're playing the Marlins.
The Mariners won yesterday, and I had the Mariners yesterday, but I'm figuring the Padres gonna win today.
Okay. All right.
The Yankees and Red Sox. I had Yankees last night because German was on the mound, but might stay away from that game today.
Yeah, it was a better riddle. Yesterday, the Yankees had a great riddle. Today's tighter. So.
Yeah, I'm liking the Mariners to get that win over the Angels today.
Yeah, me too. I agree with you there.
That Mets and Diamondback game, that jump was a little tricky last night, but I had Diamondbacks though.
All right, nice work.
I had them plus though.
I see.
So that came out good. They came back at the end. I said, dang.
Yeah, they did. They did. All right, man.
It's looking pretty good on baseball. I mean, I got my Cubs winning though against the Cardinals though, but I ain't got the winner though. I got the over in that game though.
I see. You took the over. Okay.
Yeah, I took the over in that game. But I think the Cubs. I got a strong probability that the Cubs can win today though.
Let me see. What was that? Yeah, I agree with you that the Cardinals staying on 18 wins against the Cubs makes some sense to me. So. Yeah,
because the Cardinals won two straight games, so I'm thinking that my Cubs could win this game today and split and get one in St. Louis.
The one concern for me is Wainwright for the Cardinals. He could get his 153rd career win today on the 153rd day of the year, but he could also pick up his 91st loss, and Chicago Cubs is 91. So.
Yeah. It might be close though. It might be a close game though towards the end, like 3-2 or 1-2 or something like that.
Sure. Cardinals have been blowing games in the end too, so it could be like that again.
Yeah. And the NBA, I think the Warriors gonna win tonight. I think.
Yeah, they'd be 7-3 away if they did. 73rd NBA season. So.
Yeah, I can't see them going to. The Raptors won because the Warriors had a lot of rest and they swept the Blazers the first game, so that's why the Raptors had more momentum because they just got off a game 6 against Milwaukee, so that's why they had the better legs than the Warriors, because they've been playing for a long period of time. So I'm thinking the Warriors gonna get back on track and tie the series up tonight.
Okay. Yeah, that makes some sense. All right, man. I appreciate it. Great call.
All right, thanks, Jack.
All right, you have a good day, Chris. Take care.
You too.
All right, you guys. So some of the games are getting underway. Games that we talked about yesterday. Yesterday I expressed that I like the Tigers to stay on 22 wins through the rest of this series. So far, it's off to a good start. Brewers getting to 34 against the Pirates, off to a good start. So the remaining games today that I feel the best about are the Rockies and the Mariners. The risk reward game, and it's not caller about to take a call, but just real quick. Again, the Astros have riddles to win today, but I like the Athletics getting their 62nd all-time win and making the Astros 6-2 against them today on June 2nd. So to me, this is the best risk-reward play, but if the line was a little bit better, it'd be a better payout for the Athletics. Anyway, what's up, caller?
Hey, man, just very quick. I sent you a picture yesterday, but it was a picture of Kawhi on fucking ESPN's Instagram saying teams who are 2-0 are 30-4, and I know that 35 is a big old KD number. So I'm thinking, what if they do go up 2-0 and end up losing and become 30-5? I just saw it very quick. I don't know why they would put that out there.
Okay, that's interesting. I always like to think about the flip side. So 2-0 teams are 30-4. That's what you saw again, right? 30-4.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just saying. Okay, well, if they won, I'd be really surprised if the Warriors lost the finals. But if they won, they'd be 31-4, which kind of reminds me of Steph Curry, his Pi Day birthday, 31 March.
Oh shit! Yeah. Oh damn, that's true.
So.
Oh shit! Yeah.
March 14th.
Yeah, I don't know. I saw it and I was like, yeah, this is something right here. So that's all I wanted to say, man.
Okay, appreciate it though. Great observation. Thank you.
Yeah, gotcha, man.
All right, take care. All right, so. You know what I'm going to do? Let's wrap it up here. I'm going to put out the review video. Hopefully you guys, you've been watching and you saw what I said and you already got in on some of these early games. I mean, there's still a lot of ball game left, but I have a feeling these games are going to go the way we were expecting. These are some of the earlier games that I felt better about. A lot of these other games are tight, kind of conflicted. So let's wrap it up. Look for the review video. I'm going to get it up ASAP. And, You got to go with your instincts. Use that pregame website. I do think. Hold on, we got one more call here. Caller.
Hey Zach, quick question. Did we go over why we think Joshua lost last night, the boxing fight?
Yes. So you watched yesterday, so I got locked into the 3-2-2 thing, right?
Yeah.
And what I should have really been thinking about was if he got his 33rd win, because the fight was in New York, and New York's 33, so that was the 33 piece. What I missed out on is I did not know what the odds were for that fight, and I wish somebody had let me know who did know, if anybody did know. That fight was 11-1 odds for that guy to win, 11-1. New York's 111, and he's born on September 11th, the guy who's won, the day leaving 111 days left in the year. And I didn't know that until the fight was over. And when I saw the headline, I saw 11-1. Man, how didn't I know that before? Also, we talked about how his last fight was 903 days earlier. I didn't realize the narrative that was going with Mexico. Mexico equals 93 and 33 as well. And he was the 8th Mexican fighter to try to take a belt in such a fight. That was part of the story I read last night. And I was like, oh, he was the 8th. It had never happened before. So he was the 8th to attempt and the first to do it. Remember, yesterday had the 19-date numerology, the 8th prime. So, I mean, that 3-2-2 thing seemed locked in, but man, I wish I had known the odds were 11-1, because I would have said, you know what, this is worth taking a shot at 11-1. So
Wow. Okay. So there is a double decode right there.
But man, that 3-2-2 piece was so tight though. So when I saw that, the first headline I saw last night was that 11-1 underdog makes history, and I was like, man, 11-1. I did not know that. So that was the missing piece.
You want to know something? There was someone on the chat yesterday who pointed out the prop bet for Joshua to knock this guy out was only 2-1. And for a fight like this, and this guy's a nobody, that fight, that should have been a minus. So for me, that was the alarming bell right there.
Well, remember the other thing that we looked at for Joshua is that his last fight was 253 days ago, the 22nd triangular number, and that fight was on the 22nd of September, and now he stayed on 22 wins. And I said that could be the one thing that goes against him, but I was thinking it was going to be more about him getting his 22nd career knockout. But man, the 11-1 odds were the piece that was missing. That would have been a monster clue.
Interesting. Did you know what Joshua went off at?
What do you mean? His odds?
Yeah.
I don't know his odds. Because I just saw the headline last night about 11-1.
He was minus 2,200.
Oh, God, another 22.
Yep.
Man.
So that was the riddle.
That's what it is with boxing. This is deja vu for me. Before I've gotten locked into a really tight riddle like the 3-2-2 thing and been wrong, and then I see the piece after the fight, I'm like, God, if I knew that thing. Boxing, you really do got to find all the pieces of the puzzle before you come to your conclusion. Because if you're missing one thing, it can make all the difference. So.
Makes sense. Got it. Okay, cool. I got here a little late, so I wasn't sure if it went over.
Yeah, no problem. Good to go over it again.
Awesome.
Thanks, man.
All right. Thanks, Zach. Later, man.
Yeah, take care. Yeah, and I'm so mad about that because, man, 11-1, how often do you get odds like that? And with what we know about New York, I mean, yesterday we had Porcello picking up his 111th loss. Plus, again, that boxer was born on September 11th, the day leaving 111 days left in the year. So look for the review video. I want to get it up ASAP before these games get underway in the afternoon that still look good. Hopefully you guys got in on some of these morning games. Some of them are right where we expect so far. So, oh, hold on. We got one more caller. Caller?
Hey, Zach.
What's up?
Let me mute that. Okay, so I'm not on hearing myself echo. Dennis. About the game tonight for the finals.
Yes.
Remember, I was telling you it was going to go 7 games. Remember, I was telling you that.
Father's Day. Father's Day. Yep.
Yeah. And remember, I was telling you how it was going to unfold, who was going to win which game, with the exception of 2 games. Remember that?
I remember some of it. I get a lot of calls, Dennis, but I do know who you are. Yes.
Okay.
Dennis has Toronto to win the series. Everybody, so that he'll surprise me if he's right.
I do, and I think it is going to go game 7. I know you got to hop off here and you got more work to do, and it's honestly going to take me too long to break it down how I came up with it. But it ties into, like, we got to observe, like you do, what goes on with the news and media and propaganda and everything else that's going on, right?
Right.
And also how they play up, the media will play up certain things to shift people's emotion and where to put their money. Of course, all the money is on the Warriors. Now, when Toronto takes this 2-0 lead, it's going to start to shift, but I wouldn't necessarily say it's going to balance out because KD is going to come back, and then when KD comes back, then even more money is going to shift on Golden State. But one observation, like I said, I don't want to get too deep into it. I'll let you do it in your college, work on it or whatever. But at the opening segment of the NBA Finals, and they've done this, I want to say in the past too, they'll play music, right? And they'll show clips and highlights from teams that have won championships. And they played this year Stevie Wonder, Higher Ground. Okay. That was a song that he recorded in the 70s. 1973 album, Intervision.
There you go, 73, 73rd NBA season.
There you go. And there's a connection with Stevie. There's also a connection with Los Angeles and Stevie. I really don't want to give it away, but that's why I told you that when I talk to you, I'm going to talk to you off the air. But there's a connection with Stevie, Los Angeles, and Kawhi. I think you know what I'm talking about.
Yep.
Okay, so that's why I believe, and then it's going to be, I think it's going to go 7 games. July 1973 is when that song, or the album, I'm sorry, was released. The single, I think, yeah, the B-side, Too High. Yeah, that was the single. It's going to go 7, man, and Kawhi is going to get the MVP. Another caller I heard say something about that had to do with Father's Day and his father and whatnot, and I'm not too keen on it. That's why, you know, I call you, you know, I let you go through it. I'm not too keen on how to read everything, you know, in the code. But you know, I am familiar with you know, a little bit about it. But yeah, that's all I got right now. I know you got work to do, man. I'm hoping I'll be able to talk to you soon. When will you be starting on? Because I know you did something already with football. You did one thing. And that's what really came in on you. When are you going to go into the season with football? Are you going to wait till it gets closer to like?
It's good to wait till closer because the stories start coming out and clues emerge. They start dropping the riddles. Right now, I'm building a thing just looking at the last time every team won the division, won the conference, won a Super Bowl, playoff records. I'm trying to get all the data I can. I'm trying to have our best NFL season yet. We've done a lot of great work in NFL. But I did put out a video on this Patreon page. You'd have to scroll back and look for probably over a month now. But I did put out a future pick for what my favorite Super Bowl matchup is right now. And I'll just say it again. Right now, I really like Colts-Saints rematch, and I like the Saints to beat the Colts in the Super Bowl. And ultimately what that's about is 54. Drew Brees is 54. New Orleans is 54. It's Super Bowl 54. When Luck comes into the regular season, his first regular season win will be his 54th. When he goes to the playoffs, his first win in the playoffs will make him 5-4. The Super Bowl is 144 days from Andrew Luck's birthday. New Orleans equals 144. So does Drew Brees, plus a few other things. The death of Gunther Cunningham recently, who coached his first team with the Colts, his death was perfectly synced up with the Super Bowl. So right now, that's my favorite pick, but I have to see more clues and do more research to get more confident about it. But I'm liking the Saints a lot this year, and I'm thinking the AFC matchup's a rematch with the Colts. So
I like the Saints too for that reason. What you said, I like Drew Brees. I really, and I kind of thought this, and this is the other thing. This ties back to the NBA real quick. The reason why we have not seen a repeat champ, there's been a repeat champion in the NFL every decade since the beginning.
Right.
Okay. The reason we have yet to see it, and this is the last shot, like only the Patriots will be able to do it, and I think we won't see it, is because the Warriors won't three-peat. Every decade, there's been a three-peat of some sort too.
Okay.
And only the Warriors can do it.
Well, Boston in a way can kind of three-peat in 1 year, sort of.
Who did? I'm sorry.
I'm saying Boston can kind of win 3 championships in the last year.
Oh, yeah. But I mean, like one team.
Okay.
I get what you're saying. Yep, that's true. But yeah, the one team has to three-peat. Like for instance, the Los Angeles Lakers in 02, 03 or whatever was the last team to complete that, and that's when you saw the New England Patriots repeat. That's why they were the last team to repeat.
Right.
And now you got Golden State with that opportunity. If they do not do it, then that's when we see the end of the Patriots' reign and that whole theory or whatnot.
Sure.
But yeah, and I had something else, but I lost it. But yeah,
well, it's okay. There'll be plenty more shows to call back. But before you go, since you're big on the Raptors, who do you got winning tonight?
Toronto. Yeah, I already told you Toronto going to take game 1 and 2.
And okay.
Then going to flip back Golden State because KD is coming back 3 and 4. 4 and 5, I said initially was a toss-up, but I'm working on it now to determine who's going to win those 2 games.
All right. I appreciate the call, man, and I look forward to the next one. You have a good day.
All right.
All right.
You too. All right, Zane.
All right. Take care, man. Bye. All right. So we're going to wrap it up here. I'm going to get out that review video just because these later games that I think are worth a shot are going to be starting soon. Be back tomorrow, same time. We're doing this 7 days a week. Again, start time, 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern every single day. 7 days a week. If there's ever a day where the baseball games start at 9:30, I might start at 8:30, 11:30. So, oh, hold on, we got one more call. What's up, caller?
What's up, Zach?
What's up, man?
Hey, I'm taking my dog to a soccer game, so I didn't get to watch the video. Can you talk to me about the Warriors Raptors? Because I got stuff in my head I could just pop out.
Okay, so for the Warriors tonight, if they win, they're 7-3 away. 73rd NBA season. It's the number that's defined the year. It's why we had the Warriors winning 57 games in the regular season, so they could win 16 more in the playoffs and get to 73. So that piece is there. The thing that could go against the Warriors tonight is if they lose, they're 12-6 in the playoffs, heading back to Oakland, where 126 is the number. That said, if they win, they're 13-5, like 135, where that's the number that defines Philadelphia sports history, and they are originally the Philadelphia team. If the Raptors lose tonight, they stay at 71 wins on the 20-date numerology. 71's the 20th prime. So it's a mixed bag. Right now, there's big money on the Warriors, so it looks like if the Raptors win, the Vegas is going to win. If Raptors win tonight, Vegas wins big, but I'm conflicted. Two things to consider is there's a chance that this series ends in 5 games, because if that happened, you'd have to think the Warriors were winning it in 5. They'd play 21 games in the playoffs, 73 the 21st prime, but I'm really leaning towards that Father's Day thing, Game 7, with Del Curry being front and center. So I'm leaning Warriors tonight. I'm not crazy about tonight's game, though. So
let's see.
One more thing. If the Raptors won tonight, they'd be 2-0 in the finals on a 20-date numerology, but that 20 can go against them again because they have 71 wins on the season, the 20th prime. So, okay, what do you think?
Right. Okay, so that 20, I like the Raptors too, but I didn't thoroughly do it. I'm going to do it driving, but I like the 20, but then I like Warriors to win 2 in a row. Then Oakland 22, so they go 2-2, tied up in Oakland.
Sure. So I do see the 2-2 in Oakland, unless this thing is going to go in 5 games. If Raptors win one more, I think that riddle's off the table. I don't think they're going to win in 5 games, but they could split on each other's court.
It's all about the 6. Remember, it's all about 3.
So yeah, 6. If ABC's 6, you're right about that. So they could stay on 6 tonight. But if they split,
and I thought, hold on, this is big, right? I'm going to cut you off because it's a riddle. If any team that went up 2-0 won the NBA Finals is 30-4. So if the Raptors go 2-0 and win the finals, it'll be 31-4, like mine.
Right? Yeah, we talked about that. Yep.
Remember me and you talked about this Monday about remember, because I bring it up about the 126 Oakland. So, yeah, and then 13 to be the 6 prime. So they game 3, they get the 13th win, 13 to 6 prime. Stay on 6, ABC equals 6.
If they lose, though, they're 13-7, like 137. The 33rd prime in NBA Finals is 33. So
yeah, but I go by the TV when the finals. So the 6, it's all about the 6. Been on. That's why they play on it. It's all I'm telling you, man. But it's like you said today, though. Did you see any 21s today?
There's no 21s on the board. There's no 21s. I know ABC's 21 too, but there's no 21s up there.
I guess no 75 either.
I didn't see any 75s. ABC's 75 also. I didn't see any 75s. Oh wait, actually there is one 75. Steve Kerr's at 75 career wins in the playoffs.
See, this is crazy, man. Well, Oracle equals 91. Oracle equals 93.
If the Raptors lost, they'd be 9-3 at home, going back to Oracle to play.
Yeah, man, like, oh, yeah, I like that. But that 102, 102 though, right there, the Raptors win. You got the 102 at home.
What's 102 got to do with anything?
I just see 102 a lot. I don't know. I just see it a lot with the NBA. That's just one of my own little riddles I do. But
I do see a lot of scores end with 102. I think it's a sick joke. It's just like in that Uncle Drew movie, the winning shot gives them 102 points. You know, N-words 102, monkeys 102. Yeah.
you and then I know you forget because you do so much content. You run 102 up one time that you did a video on it. I don't know. It was a long time ago. Like you do so much content, you know.
I talked about 102 in the NBA a lot, but it doesn't connect to either of these teams specifically. But yeah, there's okay. I see where you're going.
Yeah. I just listen to your patterns. I remember them. I don't forget. So. And then Monday equals 72, so I look at it like that. They tribute Raptors could be 72 and 30, but you know, I don't know.
It's just that every year for me, I look a lot at the season count. The season count's always a big indicator for me. So that's still my hang up tonight with tonight's Warriors game. The fact that they can become 7-3 away. And if they split at home, they'd be 7-3 at home too. You could get a double 73 tribute.
And remember this is that game the 10th prime 4 or 10th?
4. If you had 1 through 4 together, it equals 10.
Yeah, so if you put 1 through 4 together equals 10. This is the Warriors 10th away game.
That's true, but to go back to your ABC 21 thing, what's 73? It's the 21st prime if they're 7-3. So.
Yeah, that's deep right there. So yeah, it's a tight riddle, man. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I won game 1, big, so I'm probably gonna lay off.
That's what I mean. That you don't have to bet every game. Game 1, we had a great riddle. We like the Raptors. Today's a tighter riddle. I mean, so today you got a good argument both ways.
Yeah, man. So I'm probably gonna chill, man. So.
All right.
Yeah. I think you should do a review. This is what I think you should do, Zach, because we've been doing good on that. Like, after the game tonight, I think you should do a review video. You was doing it, because that keeps everybody intact, too, for Monday, like when we discussing and shit.
Well, I review every morning when we start the live stream. So, I mean, every live stream when you started, it's the review.
Yeah, I don't know. I just been seeing sometime. I don't know if you just watching the game, like you do a review on the game sometime every once in a while. Like a little 5-minute review. I don't know.
My only thought is when I keep making videos, though, then it pushes everything down further on the Patreon page. And sometimes people want to scroll back and see other things. So that's just the dilemma with that.
Oh, okay. I get it now. Okay, cool.
Because everyone should know that every live stream is the review of the day prior. So if you want to see the game's review, just watch the beginning of the live stream. So.
Yep. And I won money on you last night, too. Me and my kids watching the Bruins game. I told them the Bruins gonna win. Because guess what, Zach? I watched your thing, and you kept everybody liked it. What's the name? You like, oh no, man, the 114. Guess when the power play started? At a minute and 14 seconds.
Did it really? Crazy.
Yeah, and that's when I knew it was over. The Bruins gonna win.
Yeah, there you go. Good eyes, man.
Yep, 114 riddle.
Yeah. All right, man. I appreciate it.
All right, man. You watching the game tonight?
I'll probably end up seeing some of the game. Yeah, so I'll probably end up seeing some of the game.
Yep.
All right.
All right, Zach, man. I'll let you finish.
All right. Good luck. Take care. All right. I'm going to wrap it up. I really got to hurry up and get out the review video before these other games start. There's still some good ones on the board. So we'll be right back, you guys. Tune in for that video. Same time tomorrow. Good luck.